People often ask, what's the most important thing that we do as educators in Mason City Schools? And I would say that the most important thing we do is we get our relationships right. And when I talk about relationships, what I'm really talking about are the people in our organization. Our people are our most important asset in our organization, whether it's the staff that we're talking about, the parents that we build relationships with, our business partners, our community members, or our students. And when we talk about those things, what we're really pointing towards is our culture. Our culture is the heart and soul of our business. And when we talk about culture, we're really mentioning the idea of our beliefs, our behaviors, and our experience here at Mason City Schools. This is Big Rock number one. Big Rock number one is really the foundation for the other work here at Mason City Schools. It's exciting to give you an update here about Big Rock number one. We're working with Tim Kight in Focus 3. They have been working with our leaders throughout the organization to get ready and prepared to plan professional learning for the rest of our staff so that we understand how to operationalize culture. Culture is such a big idea, and so we have to make it practical, and so that those steps can play out in our lessons, in our conversations, in our language throughout the organization. One of the things that we're really looking at is, what does culture look like? And so we have language like above the line, below the line language. When we're talking about staff and we're interacting with people in our community, are we talking above the line or below the line? You can connect with this in your own home. Think about the last conflict you had in your own home. Did you go below the line in your conversation, or did you keep the conversation above line by thinking of the other person, by listening, by trying to empathize with those that you're interacting with? Another piece of this puzzle is a formula called E plus R equals O. The E is the event in our world that we can't control, that happens every day. It's the day-to-day things that go on. The R stands for our response, the piece that we own. The only thing that we can change is our own response to the events in our world. The outcome is what comes from that. And the outcome that we create from our response turns into someone else's event. So we talk a lot about owning our response or owning our 20 square feet of our culture. We understand that the people in our organization are the most important part of what we do at Mason City Schools. As I reflect on our work with culture, I'm reminded of the 4 teachers that originally came to us and told us that culture is something that we need to have an intentional focus on. These teachers were able to interact with Tim Kight in Focus 3, and they came to us and said, this is something we need at Mason City Schools. And it was so exciting that day. I remember sitting in the room and listening to their passion around this topic. They were almost emotional, telling me about how much we need to move in this direction, how we have so many great things happening here in Mason and such a great tradition of excellence. But the one piece that we needed to really focus on was our culture, and making sure that we were really focused on the beliefs, the behaviors, and the experience that we hope to have here at Mason Schools. So I give a lot of appreciation and gratitude to our teachers for reaching out and being bold and brave enough to come forward and say, this is what we need to focus on, and that's our culture.